Hi everybody, Michael here. Today I'm gonna check out my options to work with Linux terminal on Windows. So let's see what type of options we have here, a few of them at least, and see if we can get our first Unix terminal up and running here, or a few of them. So I'm gonna go here with my options, and I have already installed them, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. I'm just going to show you how it looks when you have installed them. So let's just move away from this nice picture. That's just a fun picture. So my options here that I'm going to use is either to go with the Git Bash tool, and Git Bash is a Linux bash terminal, if we say so, that is coming with the Git installation program. So if you have installed Git, you perhaps already have it downloaded. So that is a nice terminal that you can use. It's rather easy, straightforward, and to my knowledge, it does not come with a package manager. So it can be hard to install more stuff on it, but it is a bash terminal and can be used as such. The other one is a rather sort of popular choice if you want to go with have a Unix terminal on your Windows machine, and it's been there for ages, and it's called Cygwin. And somewhere we have the installation program there, we have it, and we can install it, and it's basically sort of installing a simulated environment, emulated, simulated, whatever environment on our Windows machine. So it's a whole package of a small Unix system that runs as a Windows application. So we'll see how this terminal looks like when we're going to start it up. And the other one option is rather popular these days, and it's going to be WSL or WSL2 with a 2 added on it, and that is the latest version. So if you are already sort of updated on your machine, you can just start WSL, which is called Windows sort of subsystem, Windows sub-language. I need to look that up. Anyway, it sort of installs a virtual small virtual environment where this terminal will run. And I'm just going to use it as a terminal, but I have actually installed a whole version of the Linux system Debian onto my machine. But it's running in this sort of small virtual machine that works pretty good together with the Windows system. So let's see, we have WSL, we have Cygwin, and we have Git Bash. And of course, before we start with them, let's see how we can sort of work together with all of them and reach the same files on the file system. So I'm going to open up a Windows terminal here first. And it's the CMD terminal. It's pretty much Windows, but still, I'm going to create the directory here in my home directory, and I'm just going to label it bash. Yes, that's the way. So I'm going to go into that bash directory there. It's an empty directory, and we can see the path to it there. So I'm going to just save it there for now. And let's go with the, what we have, Git Bash terminal first. So I'm going to start up the Git Bash terminal. Here it is. Another window, and we can sort of, let's make it a bit larger. Let's say uname -a. Okay, so it's saying something about the string mingv64. Okay, it's fine. msys. Okay. Nice to know. So I'm currently in my home directory. So this is how it looks like. So this is the home directory of Windows. So that is pretty good, because then I can sort of cooperate with my Windows files rather easy. So I think, what was the name of my directory? I think I called it bash. So let's see if we have a bash directory. Yes, it seems like that, but it's empty. So I'm going to go in there and I can create just a file.txt to actually see that it works. So we have that file there. ls, I can't do ls in the bash terminal there, in the Windows terminal, sorry. But we still have the file text there. Okay, so for my sake, it's good to know that I could I know where the files are on the Windows machine, but I can still access them directly in my terminal. So that was the Git Bash terminal. Fine to work with, Unix terminal. So the other one is then Cygwin. So let's start up Cygwin. I think I have a Cygwin terminal here. Yes, I do. So I'm going to open it up and it's yet another terminal. So let's plus it to make it look a bit bigger. So here I am in this Cygwin application, and it's mimicking a complete Unix installation of it. So I have my own home directory here, and if I want to go to the Windows directory, I need to go to this path. So I have actually created to make it easy for me, I have created a link here, a symbolic link that I call WinHome, and then I have created that to Cyg drive, where all the Windows drives are mounted. So I'm going to go C:users Michael. So I'm going to go with WinHome here, and we can see that I'm in home Michael WinHome. So that is actually the name of the link that I'm in now. So it's there, and it's actually not saying that name, but we can see if the bash file, the bash directory is there. So I can go into the bash directory. So even if I see the the directory path looks a bit odd, but it is still the same cygwin.txt. It is still the same directory that we have there, and we can also see it up here in the CMD terminal, Cygwin file. Excellent. Great. Did I do uname -a on this? What did it said? Okay, so this said Cygwin. So uname is a name, is a way to get a name of the current system that I'm on. So let's start up with the last terminal for today. So I'm going to go with WSL, and I have installed Debian. So WSL is a name of this Windows subsystems, and using that I could install Debian, Ubuntu, or many other virtual machines in here. But I have installed Debian before by following the manual we saw up there on WSL, and I can open it up, and yet another terminal. So it's still a bash terminal. And where are we? Yes, we are in our Unix home directory here also, but also like Cygwin, this WSL also has a connection to the Windows environment, because now we are in the Unix environment. And if I want to go to the Windows environment, we can see here that I have a symbolic link also created here. So if I go to WinHome, I have created those, by the way. If I go to WinHome, I will end up in this directory. So it's basically down at the mount/c. So we could do mount/c. Oh, there we see a lot of it. Seems to be the whole C, my C disk drive. And I think we have, if we did it, if I go back to my home directory here, now I'm on Cygwin here, and we see that we had the WinHome there. So if we check that directory, ls/cyg drive C. Yes, we see the same thing. So we actually both in Cygwin and in the WSL terminal here, we have a way to get out of the terminal and into the Windows file system. And then we can sort of save the files on the Windows file system when we work with them, because it will be much easier to, usually at least, to take backup of them, and sort of I can start up my sort of file explorer here and go to the same directory and sort of access the files that way. So I can interact them both using the Bash terminal of my choice and the Windows applications of my choice. But let's see here. So I'm still here in my directory. So I'm going to go to WinHome, which is my symbolic link there. And just like the Cygwin terminal, it's stating that I am here in my sort of symbolic link. But if I do an ls, I see I'm in my home directory, and I can go to the bash directory where we had there. So ls in the bash directory, ls-l, and let's touch another file here like debian.txt. ls-l, everybody is there. Okay, so let's go up here. Where am I? WinHome. I need to go to the correct directory then. There we go, ls-l. And yes, everything is there also. And in the Git Bash terminal, we have ls-l. Everything is there also. And just final check, cls, and dir the directory using the cmd terminal, which is not the bash terminal. But everything is there. So we can interact with this, and we can use the, well, any terminal basically, if we want to have a bash Unix terminal to work with. Perhaps we want to run a bash script or something like that. Okay, so that is a way to get going with the Unix shell bash in a Windows environment. And that's enough for now. So see you later. Bye bye.